How about them Cowboys? Cause it's like Cowboys. Make me say wild boys from the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Cowboys. You tuning in to the team that win. Big game, first name, James. He interview, he can call the game. Silver blue, you know the name. From the Emmitt Smith to the Michael Irv. We beating skins, shooting birds. I see a baby snatching out his fur. Favorite team on the planet Earth. From Monday night to Sunday church. BGJ putting in the work. I'm tuning in, no need to search. Too thick and thin and good and worse. Them Cowboys. Like Cowboys, make me say wild boys from the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Cowboys. You tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the goddamn, they did it again. How about them Cowboys? Cause it's like Cowboys. Make me say wild boys from the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Cowboys. You tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that's so real blue that did it again. Like Cowboys, make me say wild boys from the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Cowboys. You tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the goddamn, they did it again. How about them Cowboys? Cause it's like Cowboys, make me say wild boys from the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Cowboys. You tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that's so real blue that did it again.
What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good? Big Game James, man. I'm back in the building. You know how we do. Let me see something right quick. Today's topic right quick is CeeDee Lamb is growing right before our very eyes, man. He been turning up. I'm going to have to send some apologies to him. Let me see. I'm going to try to get some tunes right quick. But I'm going to have to send some apologies to CeeDee Lamb. I already apologized to Terrence Steele last year because, remember, he was looking terrible his rookie year. In 2020, he just looked bad, and we saw how La'el Collins went out. They threw him in the fire, and he got cooked, and he was undrafted. Came in 2021, was looking sus in the preseason. I was like, man, same old thing. I think his first game he had his little way, and then he came in, and boom, you seen what Terrence Steele is now. Ain't nobody even talking about Terrence Steele, right? Nobody's even saying one thing about Terrence Steele. Everybody's feeling him. You feel me? So when I seen that, okay, that's an apology right there. And then I'm going to come to this year, Noah Brown. I'm apologizing to Noah Brown because I said, man, Noah Brown ain't going to be doing nothing. We know what Noah Brown is like, year 6? We know what Noah Brown is. It's not going to change anything how I feel about him. And I even said it before the season, everything. Noah Brown came in and had a really good first 5 games. He tailed off a little bit. He had a little bit of injury. But Noah Brown stepped his game up and was coming through. He was our leading receiver for, I believe, the first 5 games of the season. I believe. Don't quote me on that. But he was the guy. See, we were frustrated with CeeDee Lamb, right? We were saying CeeDee Lamb, the number 1, he's still inconsistent. He had been inconsistent. That Giants game, he had a big drop, but he came back through and had the big end of the game touchdown. And we're like, there it is. We just need to see it consistently. And, boy, has he done it consistently. Has he stepped his game up, especially since Dak Prescott has returned. And it's made me happy because I've been saying my doubts about him. They were doubting him in the organization earlier this year, talking about, does he have enough alpha energy for you? Is he that alpha energy guy? Is he that guy that's going to be able to make those plays in the big games? So let me get over here right quick, show some numbers. Here's some numbers right here already. And I compared it to A.J. Brown because a lot of people are saying who's the best receiver in the NFC East. And I sit there and said, you know, if Philly fans got in their feelings, oh, CeeDee ain't this and CeeDee ain't that and hating. Where did you see me? Where did in this statement you see right here, right there? Where do you see anything where I say A.J. Brown is weak? I said A.J. Brown is a dog. He is. I said he's a dog. But then when I go back to the numbers in the first 3 years of the league, A.J. Brown, look at the numbers. And I do understand that Derrick Henry, that 2020 season, he went crazy. I think they were like 3rd in the league in rushing. Dallas was like 17th, but Dallas was 9th in the league in rushing last year at 124, and they're currently 6th or 7th in the league at 145 this year. So they are running the ball. And he did have Amari Cooper. You will say that, oh, he had Amari Cooper, so he plays the majority in the slot, and A.J. Brown has played the majority on the outside. That is the truth, because I looked at A.J. Brown's slot time in the slot since he's been in the league, and it's been like 20%. CeeDee Lamb's is like 58%. And you're going to get better mismatches on the inside, and they move around, man. That's where you really see CeeDee cook, is that slot. He eats him up in the slot. He's really good in that open field. Doesn't have that deep speed, but he can get past you. But A.J. Brown's a little bit bigger, more physical. But when you look at the numbers, man, and you got to remember, CeeDee Lamb played 16 games without Dak Prescott. He played 16 games with Andy Dalton, Ben DiNucci, Garrett Gilbert, and Cooper Rush. And Cooper Rush, I didn't even think was going to be playing any kind of games this season. And he played 5, okay? And it wasn't like we were cooking offensively throwing the ball, okay? Remember, I told you, Noah Brown was our leading receiver. CeeDee Lamb, since Dak Prescott has kind of came, has kind of taken it to a next level. But you can't sit there and say he's chopped liver in those first 3 years. Those are both of their first 3 years. Yes, A.J. Brown had more of a running game with Derrick Henry, but, hey, like I said, Amari Cooper had 92 receptions his rookie year. And, like I said, he was playing with a mixture of quarterbacks his rookie year, okay? So I'm just throwing that out there and saying who's the best receiver in the NFC East. I don't really care, personally. I'm just happy CeeDee is stepping up and becoming the guy that a lot of us were questioning, saying he's a really good receiver, but he needs somebody else to be even better. And right now he's showing he don't need nobody else right now. He just needs to continue to get fed that ball, because when he's feeding the ball, and here's another thing that, is kind of funny to me, how we were talking about they don't feature a number 1 in Dallas. They don't feed the number 1. They don't find matchups. They don't find ways to get the number 1 the ball. If he's cooking, they don't keep going to him. Well, it looks like they're doing that with CeeDee Lamb, and even my guy said they're force-feeding CeeDee Lamb right now. They're force-feeding him, okay? They're force-feeding him the ball. But if he's your number 1 guy, and we've been talking about giving that number 1 guy the targets and featuring him and letting him make the plays, isn't this what's supposed to be happening right now? So why are we mad at that? So this is his last 5 games. You can see right here. Look at his first 3 seasons. I mean, damn near 3,000 yards. I mean, he's almost had 1,000 yards all 3 years. He's going to have 1,000 this year. He had 1,000 last year, and he would have had 1,000. He almost had 1,000. His rookie year, 935 with Andy Dalton, Ben DiNucci, and Garrett Gilbert. If you would have had Dak Prescott the way Dak Prescott was opening up in that 2020, throwing the ball everywhere, he was averaging like 44 pass attempts a game. And CeeDee Lamb in those first 5 games was going nuts. He was about to break a rookie record until Dak Prescott got hurt. You get what I'm saying? So it wasn't like CeeDee wasn't cooking, but to get those numbers, you still got good numbers, almost 1,000 yards with those quarterbacks, and you had Amari Cooper there, and you had the Dalton Schultz there, who stepped up in that 2020. Ezekiel Elliott didn't have the greatest year. Remember, he had like 5-6 fumbles. I don't think he hit 1,000 yards that year. Ezekiel Elliott struggled, and they didn't give Tony Pollard the ball. So is that his fault? He was drafted in the first round as a number 1 guy, so when you get him the ball, that just makes sense to me. So anyway, look at these last 5 games. 45 targets, 32 receptions. He's averaging 6.4 catches a game, 449 yards, 14.4 average, 89.8, right? 4 touchdowns, all right? I like that. Look at the regular season numbers. Yeah, 111 targets. Like you said, aren't we supposed to feature a number 1? We said we don't, but looks like they're featuring it right now. 928 yards, but that just started happening. He just started cooking. Look at the targets. Those last 5 games. Look at the first 4 or 5 games. So it's not like they were over targeting him, right? So you subtract that. That's what 37. So he had 37 receptions. All right, right. I mean, 12 games. He's got 69 catches. So the last 5 games, he's got 32 receptions. He wasn't cooking those first few games with Cooper Rush. Okay. So I just feel like you got your number one, target him. Find them ways to get the ball. I don't care if you put him in the slot, put him on the outside, wherever you can find the most favorable matchups, that's what you do. I'm not going to sit there and worry about, oh, he can't get on the outside, so that's why he can't do it. That's not true. But if he can kill you in the slot and he's good at run after catching, that's where you really get that work on the inside. Why would you not put him in the slot? That's not his fault. But look at these numbers right here, right? And we'll take it from the Green Bay game, right? He been going crazy, and even Chicago. Look at that. But this has been since Dak has gotten back. Since Dak has come back, Dak's been looking for him because Dak likes him. They had a rapport. Since 2020, his rookie year, him and Dak have had a rapport. Is this his fault? This ain't his fault. These are his recent games. This ain't his fault. You get what I mean? But look at these numbers right here. Where that? These right here. That's not his fault. This is his first year. 74 catches, 111 targets. They didn't run the ball. Ezekiel Elliott was struggling. He wasn't running good. Do you remember the offensive line his rookie year? You remember La'el Collins didn't play in 2020, right? And then you had Terrence Steele. We remember how that experiment went. You remember Zach Martin got hurt too, right? Zach Martin got hurt. He was lost for the year too. You remember we had like 14 players on injured reserve. Do we remember, is that the year Travis Frederick retired? Yeah, so you had what, Tyler Biadasz, right? And this was just his second year, and he really hadn't played too much his first, right? And who was your left guard? Your left tackle, Tyron Smith. I know he missed some damn games, right? I can't remember who the damn left guard was. I'm trying to even think. Because Connor McGovern was the right guard. Who was the left guard? Connor Williams. Connor Williams was the left guard. He's playing center at Miami. We saw how Connor Williams struggled, right? So look at that offensive line in 2020. Look how Ezekiel Elliott in that run game struggled, and look who the quarterback was. And look what he still got. You couldn't run the ball, so you had to throw. Look what he did. Next year he comes back with Dak. You got rid of Amari Cooper because, Dalton Schultz stepped up. Amari Cooper got less targets than CeeDee Lamb. They're saying he's not a number one. So this year was the year to prove you got Amari Cooper. They said this is the year we got to see that CeeDee Lamb's the number one. That alpha energy. We got to see he's the guy. Well, right now, this is highest receptions per game. Right around his best year as far as average. He's definitely going to have more yards, I believe, than his. So this may be his career year. I'd love to see him get double-digit touchdowns. But you see what he's doing, man. You see the games. He's just kind of taking over, man. He's been kind of taking over these last few weeks, and he's really showing who he is. And then you can see right here, targets, receptions. They say 857, but it's like 900 something. Just from Pro Football Focus, they'd be a little off in my opinion. But hey, these guys are the number crunchers, so this is what I'm showing. Receiving touchdowns. Look at those drops, though. Can significantly drop. Remember when we was talking about them drops from the Giants game? I don't think he has a drop since. Maybe had one since. So he's got those drops under control because we ain't talking about that, right? The lapse in concentration, things of that nature. Average 4.4 yards. Could get a little better. Good rating, 92.9 when targeted. And then this is just the numbers right here. And if you look at these first, we'll see the Tampa Bay game, but that was just a terrible game. Dak came after him in the very beginning. I don't know if they're trying to prove a point. But then you've seen right here, who you think Cooper Rush is going to lean on in the pass game? So when people saying, oh, y'all over-targeting CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Rush is a backup. Who is Cooper Rush throwing to when you had Noah Brown, Michael Gallup was out, you had rookie tight ends, and Dalton Schultz had been hurt too? Who is he going to go to in the pass game? He's supposed to go to this guy. That's why he's getting 10 and 12 targets. He's the man. He's supposed to be getting the ball. You got to find ways to get him the ball, and that's what they did. I'm not mad at that. That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's who Cooper Rush should be throwing to because he ain't got nobody else. He hadn't had nobody else, right? Look at the numbers. These are what Cooper Rush here, right? Just these three numbers right here with Cooper Rush. Yeah, who else is he going to throw to? And then when Dak comes back, it goes down a little bit, but Dak's the guy. Dak's his guy, and even Michael Gallup hasn't been in full strength. You drafted a third-round receiver who you thought was going to play, and Jalen Tolbert, who hasn't done anything, absolutely nothing, has 3 catches this year. And then James Washington, who you got in free agency, is hurt. He ain't even seen the field. And you had a Noah Brown, who was a career blocker, had no more than, 15 catches in a season, and he was your number 2? Why wouldn't he get the ball? Why wouldn't he be force-fed? That makes sense. You don't have anybody else, and he's stepping this game up. and now the other guys are coming along. Michael Gallup, he had, 2 touchdowns last night. Michael Gallup, he's still not at full strength. You get James Washington added, that's another veteran receiver. Then those numbers change. But he's still going to be the guy. He's still going to be the guy, your go-to guy, just like a A.J. Brown would be the go-to guy in Philly. You get what I'm saying? And he's only got like 14 more targets than A.J. Brown. So that's what I'm just saying. So just check the numbers out. They're good. They're real good. But I want to get to just some quick highlights. Hope I don't get flagged. This is from my dog, DC for life. We got a good reputation. He don't mind if I play his stuff. So I want to make sure, we get there. So hold on. I'm going to try to adjust a few things. Why I do that? Oh. Sorry. But anyway, CeeDee Lamb, he's a dog, man. He just is. And I like how he's grown before our eyes. I like how he is continuing to get better as a player. And I wonder if he heard the noise. I'm sure he did. They all on social media. They all here to talk. You know what I mean? And I wonder if he just got tired of the talk. Hold on one sec. All right, like I said, shout out for DC for life. I follow him. I asked him before, could I play some of his highlights? He said, yeah, cool. I'm giving him the love right here. Shout out to DC for life. Go check out his channel. Great. Breaks down a lot of these games, shows a lot of these good highlights, stuff that you wouldn't see anywhere else. It takes a lot of time to do that. So shout out to you. But let's just look at some stuff right here, man. Let's look at CD, man. Just going to sit here and watch. Hopefully I don't get flagged for this, but you just see just some of his good highlights. Obviously, we didn't get the Giants highlights where he turned up, and you didn't get the recent highlights with the Colts where he turned up and did his thing, making catches out of this world. But you really – and here's one thing that I love about CD as well. When people talk about, you playing the slot, you better matchups. It is better matchups. It is better matchups in the slot than on the outside. But you got to be one tough son of a sucker to play in that middle, okay? Because that's outside. Because you're going to get hit. There's linebackers roaming in there, big safeties rolling in there. How many times you caught the ball over the middle? That's on the outside. How many times has he caught the ball in the middle? Give it to him. You're going to get hit. And he takes some hits. And CD ain't the biggest dude, but he plays big. And that's why I like him. He got that wiry strength. And he ain't afraid of contact. It's another thing I like about CD. He's not afraid of contact. He's not afraid to go over that middle, boom, and make that tough catch. Now, people got on him about the route running. He's still got to continue to get better. Remember, this is only his 3rd year. His mentor, Mari Cooper, was gone, so now he had to be the guy. And I said he definitely wasn't a prima donna. But I asked myself, remember that? He ain't scared to put his body on. Get off me. Get off me. You know what I mean? He ain't scared to put a flex on him. He ain't afraid to put a body on. We remember this play right here. Look at that. Look at that. Ooh-wee. That's nasty right there. Can't get mad at that. That's nasty right there. Right here. Kid's nice, and he's growing. And he's growing right before our very eyes, and I love it. Got to show this game where he was owning them guys. Then I'm going to get up out of here. Probably going to get flagged for it because I know that NFL be hating. They be hating. If it ain't all 22, y'all be hating. NBA don't do that, though. Y'all should need to change that for real. Get them, CeeDee. Y'all need to change that for real. Ooh, yeah, they definitely hit me. Yeah, they definitely going to hit me. But shouldn't. It shouldn't, though. Shouldn't be so much haters in NFL. NBA don't hate. They want people to see their stuff, show our stuff. NFL, don't touch that stuff. We taking all your money. You getting all that. You ain't getting none of that. It's all ours. So you clip a highlight. It's ours. Stop doing that. Hey, y'all rich. Got him. So there it is. CeeDee Lamb growing right before our very eyes. Make sure you check out By the Numbers. That's going to be coming up soon. And that's going to be